This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, let me know once you're able to see my screen. Okay, so today we'll just cover the basic overview once again. Okay, Ravi, I think as I mentioned, okay, so we'll cover 15 to 20 minutes, just a revision of uh, why middleware and what is the CPI, what is BTP. So all these things we'll discuss on. Okay, so like basically our CPI is one of a middleware. Okay. So middleware is nothing but it's a software component that allows two different systems to communicate together. Okay. So it can be anything. Okay. So it can be a file server, it can be a database. Okay. It can be a SAP system, it can be API. Okay. So A and B can be anything. Okay. So middleware, okay, as it is a component, it allows two different systems to communicate together. Okay. And to have the communication in a fast way, okay, and data securely, okay, would go from one system to other system. Okay, so that is what we are basically achieving using the middleware. Okay, so our SAP CPI is one of the middleware. Okay, so we have various middlewares in the market. Like apart from CPI, we have MuleSoft, Dell Boomi, okay, and other middlewares. But this middleware is basically part of ecosystem. Okay, so within SAP. Okay, so this is a SAP offered middleware, whereas others are not. Okay, and there are other factors where when you compare this with other middlewares. Okay, this is a cost efficient. Okay, when compared with MuleSoft middleware. Okay, and also there are a lot of features. Okay, when compared to other middlewares. This is the reason why this middleware has more scope and more visibility to the customers in the market. Okay. So, so that is about the middleware. And coming to the BTP, like basically the difference between the BTP and BTP CPI. So BTP stands for Business Technology Platform. Okay, so this platform has various set of applications. Okay, so that are services basically that are offered. Okay, as a we configure it from the service marketplace as a application. Okay, and we'll utilize the each service. Okay, by paying to the SAP. Okay, so for example, there are four things that are derived here. Okay, example, database and data management, analytics, application development and integration, intelligent technologies. Okay. So here if you see the third component, application development and integration. So this is where our integration suite or BTP CPI or a BTP IS or simply CI. So this thing is basically part of this application development integration. It is one of the application named integration suite. Okay, that is offering from BTP. Okay, so it is just one of the capability, like one of the subset or component of BTP. Okay, so that is the main difference. Okay, so BTP is vast. Okay, it has various set of application platforms. Okay, so this CPI is just one of the component within the BTP. So this is the major difference between the BTP and BTP CPI. Okay, so like this we have other applications like analytics. If you go with analytics, okay, SAC analytics cloud comes into the picture where we build the dashboards, reports, and all. Database and management, for example, S4HANA you can consider what is one of the database, and when it comes to the intelligent technologies, okay, we have something called robot process automation. Okay, that is part of application part of BTP. Okay, that comes under intelligent technology. So like this, there are various verticals where we have applications in the BTP. Okay, like this integration middleware. Basically, it comes under the component of application development and integration. Okay, so this is the main difference between the BTP and BTP CPI. BTP CPI is a component of BTP. BTP is a vast, okay, so it has various set of application offerings, okay. So a BTP consultant is a different person, BTP CPI consultant is a different person. BTP CPI consultant is the integration consultant who work on the interfaces, okay, create the interfaces, provide the solutioning to the creating the integrations, okay, based upon the requirements that I have received from the functional consultant or the business, okay. Whereas BTP consultant, who is the expertise in minimum 20 to 30 set of applications within the BTP platform, okay. So BTP consultant is different, BTP CPI consultant is different, or SAP CPI consultant is different, okay. Like that, everyone will have their own consultant, okay. But people think integration consultant is a BTP consultant, okay. You should make someone understand, okay, by giving this information. So, which is why I have covered this slide, okay. So, I hope you are hearing me, Ravi, okay. So, basically, I'm just revising for you, okay. So, are you aligned till now? Okay. So, I am understanding it as a yes. Okay. So coming to the how the can you ping in the chat, Ravi? I think there is background noise. If you are asking something. Okay. So how the integration has been evolved basically. It started as a exchange integration in the year 2002. Okay, where it got evolved to PI process integration in 2007, okay, and then it got evolved as PO process orchestration in 2011, okay. Then the versions has been increased and the stacks has been reduced, okay. So right now we have the 7.50 version of PO single stack, okay. So over the years PIPO has been evolved like this, okay, with the versions increased from with the XI and 1.0, 2.0 and reached till 7.50. Okay, right now we have the 7.50 version which is being used, which is going to be SAP is going to stop the support, some in the year of 2027. Okay, okay, mostly it is communicated. If at all they are extending, they may increase to 3 more years till 2030. Okay, but it is not official. Okay, so which is the reason why as SAP is not going to support. Okay, basically middleware, we have the cloud middleware, which is been available, which is been introduced in 2013, which is the initial build version. Okay, which doesn't have not a successful one. Okay, which itself is upgrading. Okay, HCI, SAP HCI HANA Cloud Integration was not that successful. Okay, so there are very limited people users to it because people are habituated to this on-premise version, which is a PI, PIPO 7.50 version. Okay, they are not in situation to migrate until unless SAP has circulated a circular that we are going to stop support for this PIPO from so and so year. Here, get yourself migrated from PIPO to CPI, like basically on-premise to cloud. Okay, because of that circular. Okay, and the offering, the support that is not going to be provided by SAP, customers started migrating from PA to CPA, and similarly, their systems like from ECC system to S4HANA database. Okay, so in the 2017, it was introduced as CPI Cloud Platform Integration with limited capabilities. Okay, then in the 2020, it has been rebranded as SAP Integration Suite. Okay, with the new capabilities like other capabilities like event mesh, open connectors, API management, other new features involved. Okay, now it got again rebranded. I mean, people are calling it as a CA, simply CA, cloud integration. So this is how integration suite has been introduced in the year 2013 with as HANA Cloud Integration, and right now it is being called as a CI or CPI, or like even BTPIS. All these things refer to the same integration middleware. Okay, that we are discussing about. So this is how the PIPO and CPI has been evolved throughout the years. Okay. And coming to the examples of the systems that we often integrate with. Okay. So we often integrate with SAP systems like S4HANA, which is a database I told you, which is available in three different versions. S4HANA public cloud, private cloud, on-premise. So on-premise is same as ECC, the look and feel and everything will be ECC. Okay. So whereas public cloud and private cloud is a cloud shared to the customers. Okay. So when I say public cloud, a storage that has been distributed between various customers. Okay. If you have 100 TB storage, the storage is split between the various customers. Okay. So customer, there are different customers who are using the same storage. Basically, there are different owners for the particular storage. Okay, that is the public cloud. Whereas private cloud is something you are the only owner of the cloud. Okay, so it will be given for only one customer. Okay, so one customer entirely owns the storage. Okay, for the time being, whenever he was paid the utilizing that cloud. Okay, so that is the public cloud. Okay, it is one of this is one of the example of the SAP offered cloud. Okay, so then database. Okay, so basically, so other SAP softwares or the applications like field glass. Field glass is used for timesheet, like how we use the Zoho people and other things, right? Okay, field glass is the one of the SAP offered application. Okay, where will be asked to get a requirements in such a way that create an integration to integrate that basically integrates the field glass and consumes the timesheet information and send it to a some receiver system which is kind of a payroll. Okay, or the vendor. Okay, where the timesheets has to be processed. Okay, for settling down the salary. Okay, so this can be one of the requirement of the live scenario, okay, which I have explained now. Okay, and so like this, we have various SAP offered applications like success factors. Okay, success factors is something. It is the entire payroll. Okay, so in any organization. Okay, if they want to take have a software. Okay, to the entire related to the entire payroll. Okay, for an employee who joined the organization. Okay, maintaining his expenses. Okay, and not only the expenses, everything. Okay, all the employee related information will be available within this success factors. Okay, so here for example everything, like not only his trainings assigned, his manager information, his pay component information. Okay, his leave balance information, almost everything. Okay, so example like SAP success factors where it is being used is like in Wipro organization like Wipro. Okay, any person who is joining Wipro, okay, they will be having this profile created in success factors. Okay, so whenever the person even they want to resign also, okay, they need to initiate a request in this success factors. Okay, so like that when an organization has to a lot many employees. Okay, they want to take care of the payroll, each and every information of the employee. Okay, so most of the customers, okay, they do use these success factors. Okay, so we'll be asked to integrate this success factors application and consume the information whatever that is requested. Okay, in the FSD document, we connect to the success factors, we retrieve the data, we transform the data if we required, and we send it to the target system. So this is how we have various SAP systems, and we interact with third-party systems also. Third-party systems I cannot name it because there are a number of things. Okay, but you can assume it can be a database, or it can be a file server, or it can be API. Okay, you can assume that. Okay, so these are the various systems that we often integrate with using CPI as a middleware. Okay, and coming to the other competitors of this middleware, I told you, right? So we have integrations. So, we have MuleSoft, Dell Boomi. Okay, so various other middlewares that we have. Okay, MuleSoft has a drawback because of its licensing cost. Okay, it is too costly when compared to integration suite. Okay, hardly like somewhere 7 to 10 times higher of integration suite. Okay, which is the reason why customers have been returning for MuleSoft. Okay, and the capabilities that it will not be completely availed with that cost. Okay, after paying even that much cost, again you need to pay few some more amount to have utilize a few more API configuration or capabilities. So which is why MuleSoft consultant has been reduced, and the usage of the MuleSoft has been reduced, and consultants who are being part of MuleSoft also are being migrated to the other middlewares because of the licensing cost and other features which are being a drawback, okay, to the customers. Okay, so these are the various middlewares that we have within the market. Okay, and coming to the business use cases, as I told you, any integration consultant would have at least come across any one of these scenario, like integrating with S4 HANA public cloud or S4 HANA on premise, okay, or success factors application, okay, or like dealing with API. So being integration consultant will definitely come across one scenario whenever you are working as a integration consultant. Okay, and coming to the differences between this CPI and PIPO are that, okay, PIPO is installed in the client landscape, okay, whereas CPI is like basically a cloud based offering hosted by SAP. If something upgrades needs to be taken care over the weekend, okay, some patch upgrades needs to happen, okay, everything will be taken care by SAP in terms of your CPA. Whereas in PIPO, it is owned by customer. Someone from the customer needs to be available, okay, and we need to help them over the weekend, okay, they will be whenever the activities are available. So that is the case of the process orchestration. Okay, and also licensing main difference, or the drawback of the licensing cost is like in CPI, if you want to the license for monthly or quarterly or 6 months, okay, the minimum period also it is possible 1 month in case of the integration suite, okay, whereas in case of process orchestration or PIPO, it is annually, okay, so you don't have a limitation, that you want a license for 6 months only. No, you need to pay annually. Okay, so that is the case of PIPO when compared with the CPI. Okay, and in case of CPI, we have the pre-packaged content, okay, which is not available within the PIPO or other middlewares. Okay, so these are the main differences, and CPI is used for cloud to cloud integration and cloud to on-premise scenarios. Okay, majorly other scenarios also, but process orchestration is for only on-premise to on-premise integration. Okay, so these are the main differences between the CPI and PIPO. Okay, and these are the three components which are important in the designer. Okay, which you have already come across. Okay, where design is the place where we'll have the packages, and under the packages we'll create the integration flows. Okay, so and we have monitor, that is the place where we usually get these things monitored. Okay, messages, that interactions that are happening between the source system and target system of an interface when an interface is deployed. We track that within the monitoring screen of the monitor message processing, and the deployment status of the integration flows, we track it as part of the manage integration content. Okay, so this is the basic overview of the monitoring tab, which you are already seeing it from the last 2 to 3 sessions. Okay, and we have the discover, that is the area where if you want to like if you want to get started with some integration, okay, you have received a requirement to integrate a system like between the Concur and S4 HANA. So you don't know how to get started with the interface. Okay, so to know the adapter or to know the configuration. Okay, so you can use this discover. Okay, within the discover tab, you can go and search with that Concur with S4 HANA. There will be a number of packages that are offered by SAP, like this, whatever you are seeing here. These are few packages are editable, few packages are configure only. So depending upon your like whichever you feel comfortable, you can copy the package to your design tab, and you can reuse it. If it is editable, okay, you can change it however you want, and you can deploy the integration for your use case, or there will be configure only artifacts. Okay, you need to only use them when it is 100% suitable to your scenario, else you can take a reference of it, but you will not be able to do any edit within the interface. Okay, if a configure only interface can never be edited. Okay, if it is, all you can change is you can have the source system and target system information replaced. Okay, so actually your live system, source system and target system information, you can maintain within the interface of the configure only interface. Okay, so that is the max you can do for a configure only interface. Okay, so which is why, so you can build, you can take example of the iFlow, and you can build on your own. Okay, or if it is 100% can be achieved. Okay, any integration, it can be editable or configure only. you can utilize that for your use case. Okay, so this is how we have three major important components within the CPI web integration development environment. Okay. And adapters, you will know, you will come to know, okay, going forward. Okay, depending upon the type of system, you will use the specific adapter. Like, in case of file, you will use the SFTP and FTP adapter, file scenarios, okay. File server that is hosted over cloud, okay. So it can be on-premise server or it can be cloud, okay. So both we use this FTP and SFTP adapter. Like if you want to do the interactions via mail, okay. If you want to receive some information from your mail account, you will use the mail adapter. Or if you want to send some information to some mail participants, okay, or your customer, okay, so to their customer mail IDs, okay, you can use the mail adapter. Like that, if you want to connect to success factors, you have the success factors adapter. So depending upon your use case, okay, you need to choose the adapters that are existing available. Okay, depending upon the type of your system, you will be choosing the adapters to establish the connectivity to the your source system or the receiver system. So this is about the overview of the integration suite, okay, that which has been already covered earlier with the Yashwant, okay, but you have missed as part of that session, okay. So which is why I have planned this reiteration session, for you, Ravi, okay. So I hope you are clear so far, okay. Do you have any queries within this, Ravi? Can you please ping or unmute and speak?
No, Balram.
Okay. Okay,
Understand.
so this is clear, right? So I hope you got a little better understanding when compared to last 2 to 3 sessions. Okay, which you have the gap, with the BTP and this cockpit and these things. Okay.
Clarity about the role. Maybe it's a middleware consultant, right?
Yeah, yeah. Okay. And today we'll discuss about the various log levels we have. Okay. So whenever you are deploying some interface, okay. So let's go to the design screen. Okay. So today we'll discuss about the various log levels that we have. Okay. So just give me a minute. So whenever you design some integration, okay, as part of design tab, you must deploy the integration. Okay. So for example, let's go for this test package. Let us take example of this integration. So we have this integration. Okay. So whatever the integration, if you want to have the integration running, it must be deployed. Okay. If you can see here, it is deployed on April 17th. Okay. And whenever an integration is deployed, right, you will be able to see the deployed artifact within the monitoring screen. Okay. So there are two different important places within the monitoring screen. Okay, which is manage integration content and the monitor message processing. Okay, as I told you earlier. Okay, so monitor message processing is the place where you can monitor the messages that are basically triggered between the source system and target system. Okay, when an interface is executed, obviously it is going to transfer one message, okay, from source system to target system. So that message interaction we can see it here. Okay, so monitor message processing. Okay, so these are the various styles that we have. Okay, so within the monitor screen for the monitor message processing. Okay, this will give you the total number of messages count past hour. Okay, within the deployed integrations. Okay, and this will the combination of all these three will be matching with this all number of messages. Okay. Okay, so all this number of messages will be basically split between either completed or retry or failed messages. Okay, so that's how it is. For example, so it is giving by default five, right? Okay, so if you want to go detail and track the logs, message logs, okay, you can go for a maximum extent. Okay, like you can you can do it for past message also. It is possible past hour, past 24 hours, past week, past month, and even if you want to give the customer custom range also, it is possible. But max to max messages basically will rely as per last 30 days only. Okay, so usually 30 days. Okay, max to max, if you can see the custom range, if they are available, okay, there is a chance that you can see those messages. Okay, so if you give the past 24 hours, right? Okay, so there should be some count increasing. Okay, because 1 hour is different from 24 hours. Okay, so I think it is a weekend or what. Looks like, yeah, so it's a weekend, so it was not executed. Okay, just give the past week. Okay, so you can check, so you can see the various set of messages, okay, that have been basically processed. Okay, these many number of messages are completed, okay, within the period that I have selected here. And the artifact name also we can see what time what artifact is processed. Okay, so what is the message status of the artifact. Okay, we can track message by message. Okay, and all artifacts. If you don't want all artifacts, select the specific artifact. Okay, so you can filter however you want. Okay, and if even the so this is how you basically monitor the messages. Okay, the interactions between the source system and target system, and also deployed integration can be tracked using this monitor message processing. Okay, whereas manage integration content is something, this is the place where we find all the deployed integrations. Okay, if you have 10 number of packages, okay, and you have 10 iflows in the each package. Okay, all the 10 iflows doesn't come here. Okay, the artifact must be deployed. Whatever the iflows that are deployed, only those integrations we can track it here. Okay, if you don't deploy the artifact or the integration flow, you don't expect the entry here. Okay, so whatever the artifacts that are deployed, only those artifacts, okay, will be able to see it here. Okay, with the status, what is the name of the artifact, what is the state of the artifact. Okay, first the artifact will start with starting. Okay, from starting it will go to the started if it is successfully started, and if there is any error with the artifact, okay, it will go to the error state. Okay, these are the three different states of an artifact. Okay, deployed artifact. Okay, from the moment it is deployed, it will go to the starting, started. Okay, if some wrong, it will go to the error. Okay, and it is deployed by whom, when it is deployed, what is the ID of the interface, under which package this integration flow is available, what is the version of the deployed artifact. So all these information will be available here. Okay, on the right side. Okay, so on the statistics, okay, it will be available. And even if you want to see it, okay, you can do a mouse over here and also you can check that. Okay, well, under what package it is available, what is the deployed version. Okay, you can monitor at this place as well, and also here also. Okay, so this is how you have these are the two major important tabs. Okay, within the monitoring tab, monitor message processing, and manage integration content. So coming to the log levels. Okay, so log levels meaning that when an iflow is deployed, so we can see the completed message, but we cannot see the complete statistics of the message, meaning that how the what is the payload. Okay, so if there are any parameters that are not available, so that detailed level of information ideally will be not able to see. Okay, when we have triggered any interface within the by default. Okay, so which is the reason why you have various log levels that are available. So by default we can't see the detailed logs of a message that is processed. Okay, for example, what I will do, I will go for one integration, I will take this integration only. Okay, so what I will do, I'm removing this, I'm maintaining a timer event. As you are aware that you can start the iflow using timer event also. Okay, your every iflow doesn't need to have a a sender system one with some adapter with scheduler functionality. You can deploy the integration whenever you want. For suppose I have deployed this integration only, it is redeployed. So once it is deployed, so meaning that iFlow will be started. There will be, if you maintain some message within this content modifier, it will go to the okay. The step will be executed and it will go to the end message. Okay, from end message it will go to the receiver. If you connected the branch, okay, there should be some adapter between the end message and the receiver. Then only the information will go. But you can still see the information. Okay, whatever the message. Okay, message you will not be able to see, but you will be able to see the end and entry. Okay, of the message and minimum statistics of the message. Okay, where can you see that? As I told you, you can see at this place. Okay, monitor message processing past hour it is mentioned, right? So if you deployed some one artifact, when it is deployed, okay, and there is a message, okay, successfully completed, okay, meaning that from timer event iFlow started and it ended at the end message here. Okay, so it doesn't go to the receiver, but still this entire part is successfully completed. It started here, it ended here. Okay, so this is the information that you are seeing here. Okay, that one message it is completed. Okay, very minimum characteristics will be available as part of the message. Okay, for example, what is the message id, okay, what is the correlation id, okay, and you can by default, okay, you will have 5 log levels total. Okay, here you can see the default log level as info mode. Okay, you can see the logs, right? Okay, here the log level you can read it as info. Okay, so and if you slowly go down, right? Okay, you'll be able to see the information, the message id when what time it took, okay, to complete and all. So if you want to change the log level, right, you cannot change the log level from a message. You must go to the manage integration content and you need to go to the iFlow that you want to change the log level. Okay, and once you do the drop drag down, right, you can see an option called log configuration. So this is the place where you will see the log level. You have the various log levels. Okay, none, info, error, debug, trace. These are the various modes that are available within our integration. Okay, by default always our mode will be set to info mode, and when any iflow is executed in info mode, right? Okay, so here is a shortcut to go to the monitor message processing. Okay, it will show the, by default it will take the artifact from where whatever the artifact you are going. Okay, so it will basically show the minimum characteristics. Okay, as I told you, it is a very basic information, right? You can click on this log and open text view. So it will show the very basic information like when is the started, when it is completed. Okay, and information like very basic information. Okay, what is the message id, what is status of the message. Okay, very minimal information. Okay, you will not see the message level information in detail in case of the info mode. So that is the drawback of the info mode, but that is how the mode is. Okay, we cannot do anything with it. By default the log level will be in the info mode. So if you want to change the log level, right, as I told you, you need to go to the manage integration content to go for the artifact that you want to change the log level. Go there to the log configuration. This is the place where you change. Now you know what is info mode. Now I will keep the trace mode and I will deploy. Okay, so now you can go to the monitor message processing. Okay, if I redeploy the artifact, you can expect same another message. Okay, that is being processed. Okay, but this time it will run in the trace mode because we have enabled the trace mode. Okay, so now the iFlow will not run in the info mode. Okay, now we are deploying the integration. Okay, and I have deployed the integration. So which means it should create one more message entry here. You can see it is completed. Okay, and this time it got executed in the trace mode, right? So when it is executed in the trace mode, the trace mode will exist for 10 minutes. Okay, after 10 minutes it will go to the default mode that is available. Okay, meaning that it will go to the info mode from trace mode after 10 minutes, but the logs, whatever that are available for a message in trace mode, will exist for 1 hour, meaning we can see the properties, characteristics, message, everything related to that message we can see till 1 hour. Okay, this message, right? I can see the detailed logs till 1 hour. After 1 hour, it will not allow me to see. Okay, the trace will be expired. That is how the message will be shown. Okay, so in trace mode, what you can see differently from info mode is that if you click on the trace, right, it will show you. Okay, it will give the clear pictorial representation of how the iFlow is executed. Okay, it will give you the integration flow model, log content, and message content. Three tabs it will show. Okay, so here you will be able to clearly see in the integration flow model how the iFlow is executed. It started here. Some message has been processed. Okay, here there is a static message we maintained. Okay, that has been go to the next step, and it reached till end message. Okay, it will clearly give the pictorial representation here. Okay, so this is how you can understand that execution is successfully done. Okay, from the starting step to the ending step. And if there are any failures, right, there will be red indication instead of the blue. Okay, at that specific step whatever it is failing. Okay, so this is how trace mode will be helpful for us to in detail identify some message level errors or execution level errors. Okay, we can identify it here using the integration flow model tab. Okay, and if you want to go step by palette, right? Okay, so log related, okay, logistics information will be available within the log content. Okay, each step what it is doing, how much time it is executed, so minimum information. Okay, so information related to the each step will be available at the log content. Okay, so whereas message content will have the payload also. Okay, if there are any properties you declared, okay, you can see the properties and header values here. And and in the payload, this is the place where you will be able to see the message also. Okay, so meaning that I have maintained some information. Okay, so here the information that you are basically transferring from sender system to receiver system, right? Okay, so the in the message level, when you execute it in trace mode, you can see that message information also. Okay, so this is how you can see the message level information in detail, like what message is going from sender to receiver is in the trace mode. No other mode will allow you to see the payload. Only trace mode, okay, will be allowing you to see the payload that is transferring from the source system to the target system of an interface. Okay, so this is how these are the three different tabs that allows you to give the that gives us the complete understanding of the execution happened related to the message, the data, what it is flowing, and the step. Each step, how much time it is executed and what it is doing. So these information you will know from the log content and integration flow model execution, message content. You will see the message level information. Okay. So this is about the trace mode. So after 10 minutes, right? I told you, na, it will by default go to the default mode. Okay, so where you can see that you can go to the iFlow, you can see here trace is enabled 9:25. Okay, sorry, 9:15 I believe. Okay, so it is going to expire after 10 minutes. Okay, at 9:25:56 the trace will expire. It will default change from trace to info mode. As info mode is not going to give the very detailed characteristics. Okay, so that is about the trace mode. And coming to the debug mode, right? So in case of debug mode, when you are dealing with, right, in case of debug mode, what happens is that in case of debug mode, you will not have the message content. Okay, in the trace mode, you are seeing three different tabs, right? Integration flow model, log content, message content, message level tracking, message level information won't be available in case of the debug mode. Debug mode will just have the two tabs, integration flow model and the log content. That's it. Okay, it will only give you the error related information only. It will not allow you to see the payload or the data of the message that is being processing from sender to receiver. Only the log level information, successful log, like success or failure, and we can see the each step how it is being executed. This is the only information that we can see as part of the debug mode. Okay, so this is how we use the various modes however you want. Okay, ideally we use the trace mode because if you want to see the message level information, if you don't want the message level information, if you are concerned about error only and resolution of the error, you can make use of this debug mode. Okay, so this is about the debug and other modes. Okay, and we have the error mode and none mode also. Okay, we'll discuss about the none. None means is that okay, so no log will be shown. Okay, meaning that for every message you are seeing an entry here, right? If I redeploy the integration, none will show nothing because the mode of the none is that okay, it will not show any logs. Even if I executed successfully, here the entry won't be made. Only three only will be there. Four won't be showing because that is the log level of the none. Okay, it will not show any execution related logs. Okay, because execution will be done in the background. You will not see the logs, but if you are sending some information to receiver, you can see the information. Only thing is that working in the shadow. None means working in the shadow. No history. Okay, so that is about the none mode. Okay, and apart from none, what else we have? We have the last mode as I think error mode. So what means error mode is that you are seeing all the completed related message status, right? Okay, so what happens with the status of error mode? Only the error related logs only will be visible. Okay, meaning that if you are here right now, this is a completed message, right? If I redeploy it, it should be a completed message, right? Here also you will not see the message because error log will only capture the error related message logs. It will not capture the completed message logs. Okay, so that is the case of the error log mode. Okay, so this is how we have different various log levels that we have. We use each of them accordingly as per our use case, but majorly we use the trace mode only apart from the default info mode. Okay, so these are the various log levels that we have within the integration suite of a artifact that we are usually working upon. Okay, so far any doubts with the log levels that we have discussed? Hello, Ravi. So I hope you are clear with the various log levels. Okay,
Yes.
so what? Yeah, Yashwant. Yeah, you are talking something.
No, no, nothing.
Okay. So this is how we do make use of the various log levels. Okay, mostly 90% we use the trace and very often the debug mode. Okay, when we are not allowed to use the trace. Okay, in production some cases where you should not see the data for few clients. Okay, if there any restriction, you will use the debug mode. But majorly we use the trace mode only. We see the log level characteristics and every information will be traceable using the trace mode, which is going to expire log trace mode expires in 10 minutes, but trace log will within the what do we say 1 hour. Okay, till 1 hour you can access the messages. Okay, so if you see this message that is processed, okay, I think this is the last trace processed message, right? Okay, no, this is debug. So till 1 hour. Okay, so meaning that till 10:20 I believe. Okay, 10:20 or 10:25 I can access this message, see what are the log level, what are how the message execution happened, how the payload. I can see all the information till 1 hour. After 1 hour, it will say the trace log is expired, rerun the message. Okay, so that is how it is going to show. Okay, so this is how we use these various log levels. Okay, in our integration scenario, and the important components of the monitoring screen we have discussed. Okay, monitor message processing and manage integration content. Okay, and we'll be discussing about the other things in the next session. Okay, there are a few more tiles that needs to be discussed. Okay, discussed in the monitoring screen, that will be discussed in the next session. Okay. So this is about the worry of the integration also. Okay. So Ravi, if you have anything, go through the recording and get back to me so that if you have anything, I will clarify regarding the introduction and other things. Okay. Same applies to I think Ashwant, you are already aware. Okay. So okay, thank you guys. Thanks for your time. Let's catch up tomorrow with the remaining part of the monitoring, tiles. Okay, let's discuss them, cover them tomorrow. Okay, and I'll be sharing some presentation also. Okay, once that is done. Thank you.